Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another amazing, awesome, outstanding, unbelievable episode of Hollywood After Dark. It is the 5th of November. Remember the 5th of November. But tonight we're not talking about Guy Fawkes. We're talking about another clown in a weird makeup mask sort of thing. Release the Ayer cut trended today. We're going to be talking about whether or not that moved the needle and a whole hell of a lot more. Hollywood After Dark begins right fucking now. Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome to the party. Welcome to the show. It is, of course, Saturday night. It is the 5th of November. I forgot what day it was, obviously. It's been 16 years since we all started saying, remember the 5th of November. Because, you know, we're all edgy internet people, so to speak, right? All those kind of things. All that stuff, right? Couple things to kind of kick off the night. We're going to be getting into a lot of stuff today. A lot of things happened. One of the things I didn't bring up, though, I just want to say this. Ryan Hartwell brings it up really quick here. It says Aaron Carter passed away today. That is true. Aaron Carter passed away, and that is very, very, very unfortunate that Aaron Carter passed away. 34 years old, way too freaking young for someone like that to die the way. I don't even know how they died. I know there's a lot of speculation right now. There's a fair amount of speculation about how he potentially kicked the bucket because he had tried to speak to Kanye a couple of days ago. And I've seen people very much trying to pop that thing around. And look, I don't know how much of that, I mean, come on, like how much of that, I don't believe a word of it, to be honest with you. But I think one of the things that I want to say is it's a tragedy nonetheless. It's very tragic that ended up happening. Again, 34, way too young, you know, and, you know, like, it's just, man, drugs are a hell of a fucking thing. It's basically the way I want to say it, right? According to Undead Queen Danny here, he was found passed away in the tub. That's unfortunate here. Darth Scipio says Aaron Carter parents stole his fortune. That doesn't surprise me. A lot of parents in regards to everything always seem to kind of do that. You know what I mean? Macaulay Culkin famously battled his parents. Other people have famously battled their parents over the amount of money that they, you know, their money, they earned it, and the parents are managing it. You know, not to say that parents don't deserve to get a cut, right? They do. They manage it. They make sure things happen. But at the end of the day, the vast majority goes to the kid. And you want to make sure that the kid has a solid upbringing, right? Solid upbringing. Speaking of someone who I believe had a solid upbringing and is of good moral standing character, please welcome to the stream, Mad Max the Mandalorian.
What
Mad
the
Max,
hell?
I don't know.
Good upbringing and moral character.
You know what, man? I'm going to lie. What can I say? I'm lying tonight. A lot of things tonight. A lot of things.
Release the Ayer cut, everyone.
Release the Ayer cut. There's a new clip that I've got here.
I didn't see it yet.
Yeah, I got the trending numbers. We can talk about whether or not it moved the needle, and there's a little bit of other, you know, maybe a little bit of other information about that. Never mind, a little bit of Rings of Power commentary came on up, and a few little pieces of information to dive into. However, what we do have is a couple quick super chats to start off the night with. Ryan Hartwell for 5. Thank you very much, Ryan. Says, I want to inform everyone that a 3-hour version of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, aka the Hughes Cut, will be released on 4K on the 22nd. Really? I can tell you this. I know I've seen Plane, Trains, and Automobiles, but it's been like, God, 25 plus years. You know, so for me, I'll check out this 3-hour cut of the movie, and then I will absolutely it will be like a first time watch for me.
I always like it uncut.
There you go. Straight from the horse's mouth. He likes it uncut. You know, you are in Pennsylvania. You guys like uncut meat up there, I guess. But also, thank you for that, Ryan. Appreciate that. And then also Rational here for $5. Thank you. Says, can we watch the video I DM'd you at the end of the stream? we'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at that.
It's a good time to revisit it when there's something a little different. Like I wanted to watch which Rocky one did he say there was another cut that I didn't get to see that one yet? Stallone. Rocky 4, I think.
I don't know. I've never seen any of the Rocky movies,
Yeah,
so I have literally no idea.
But you know he was promoting it though. I can't remember.
You know what? If something like that pops up with like Rocky, whatever, I generally tend to. I don't. It's not that I disregard it. I just don't log it away as being part of anything that I really find to be interesting. That's just me. That's just me. But I would like to remind everybody that if you do want to help support the channel, super chats are a great way to do that. Also, joining the channel membership, become Hollywood After Dark Premium. With the current state of YouTube and Apocalypse and everything else, it's probably going to be hitting us again next year. And this whole Twitter Blue situation, who knows if that's going to have a ripple effect to the tech industry where everything is just going to be a subscription service. I don't freaking know. But if you guys like the show, you want to support it, that is the best way to do that. Thank you very much. Become a channel member or join the Patreon, just patreon.com/Matt Jarbo. There's my pimping I have to do for the day. But I do want to talk about some things that I did see. I did watch, because last night I had a power outage, like 4 of them, which was very frustrating because we got hit with like the Pacific Northwest over this weekend is estimated, and this is from like Oregon all the way up to Alaska, right? So that like big chunk of the Northwest, where it's estimated that we're going to get hit with like 2.6 or 2.8 trillion gallons of water. We're talking like mad waves coming in. And that was us last night. We got slammed with everything last night. So I was a little bit worried about a power outage. The rain stopped, but then the windstorm kicked in. So I end up, my power goes dead. I go to bed at like 11 o'clock because like I can't do anything. I don't get cell reception out here. If the power goes out, we're fucked, right? So I'm like, all right, I'm laying in bed. Also, I had my Tempur-Pedic in the recliner position because I was playing a video game before the power went dead. Because it came back on. I'm like, all right, maybe that
sucks when you finally get some time to relax and it's
Well, it was like I'm like I can't stream because it's unreliable. The internet's unreliable right now, so I can't stream. But like, okay, I'll play some video games. And I ended up like, I get like maybe 20 minutes into Ghost Recon. Power goes out again. My bed's in the reclined position. So I can't lower my bed. So I have to I have to sleep on it like it's a couch, which is fine. But it was very weird. And I woke up at 3 a.m. and I was just awake. And ended up running some errands this morning. Go to the store and like the wind ravaged this whole area. Branches were down. It would look like a massive, like just boom had hit us. So yeah, that's why I wasn't streaming last night. It's just because of all that. Like I simply just wasn't able to, but I did last night watch Enola Holmes 2. And tonight I watched Weird, the Al Yankovic story. So I got to do my reviews on both of them and both were really good. I was really surprised at how good both the Al Yankovic one is really funny.
Yeah.
Like it shouldn't exist. That's the thing with that movie, Max. Like it shouldn't exist because it's not like a real biopic.
Okay.
It's not. It's like completely exaggerated in regards to like how it all like we were watching it and my girlfriend thought that it was real. And I'm like, no, it's not real. It's not real. It's not real. She's like, oh my God, like was this childhood this messed up? I'm like, no, it's not real. And then like Madonna enters into the fray and she's, a big part of the movie. And they enter into this relationship and she's like, did they date? I'm like, no, they never dated. And she's like, okay, I looked it up. They never dated. But a lot of people, again, I really say this. If you're looking for a good movie, check out Weird. It's free on Roku. You can watch it on Roku. It does have ads. Yeah. That part sucks.
I have a Roku TV in the bedroom and it says it right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like, but like what sucks is like there's ads. So, I mean, they're not, I mean, the problem with the ads, like they come like maybe every 20 minutes and they're about a minute and a half each. We just muted it and talked, but before the movie started, while we were kind of getting everything situated, you go to the Roku page for it and they've got like links to like all the Weird Al music videos. So I started watching them, with my kids, well, she's almost 5, but like both my daughters have never heard Weird Al before. And so I played for them like Trapped in the Drive-Thru because it was like an 11-minute cartoon and they don't know it and they were enjoying it. But then like other songs came up because one of them is he did one called Tacky, which is a parody of Ferrell's Happy, which was heavily featured in Despicable Me. So my daughter knows the beat of the song from Despicable Me. And so when I played it, she's like, oh, it's Gru, thinking it's that. And then she's listening to it and she enjoyed it. And it kind of went through a couple of the different music videos. And she was just really digging, really vibing on Weird Al. And I'm like, that's the thing I really love about Weird Al, is that it's very transgenerational. Like I don't know about you, because you and I are the same age. So I don't know how you were growing up, if like you were big into Weird Al like I was.
I enjoyed Weird Al. I had a lot of fun with a lot of the music videos coming out. I never was like buy the whole album and listen to all his tracks. I would just listen to it on MTV. I'd have fun with it though, for sure. Yeah, I thought Weird Al was really cool.
Yeah, I see. For me, it was like
great in the MTV days. I love when Weird Al came on the MTV. I loved it.
I think for me, my first real interaction was UHF, because I'd seen the movie, but I didn't really know who Weird Al was. And then my mom introduced me to Weird Al. I think it was the Alpocalypse album, I think is, or Alapalooza, whatever, is the one with Jurassic Park on it. Because I remember a couple of the first CDs I bought were like the Weird Al food version. They had like the food collection, right? With like all of his like, I Heart Rocky Road and My Bologna, and of course, like Oreo, right? Or the white stuff.
Yeah.
So like, that one, and then like, his like Smells Like Teen Spirit and like that album and everything else. But then like I remember getting the tapes of his older stuff. Like, do you know he has a song where he plays a serial killer in the song?
No.
It's called The Good Old Days. Right? Like, I'm not even kidding you. Like, the song is literally about him being a serial killer. And it was the last track on the album, I believe, with like Beat It and Fat on it.
Mm-hmm.
And like it was just it's a really dark song that not a lot of people ever talk about in regards to his music. But for me, like, I heard that a lot as a kid. I just listened to this stuff. And what really cracks me up is the fact that I end up like, I talked about it with my mom. My mom goes, Weird Al is famous when you hear the songs that he's parodying and you start singing his lyrics over that. Like, if I hear Gangster's Paradise, I will probably go to Amish Paradise.
Yeah.
If I hear, like again, like Trapped in the Drive-Thru is a parody of Trapped in the Closet. I have no need to ever listen to R. Kelly ever again on anything.
Especially
but
now.
I'll listen. I'll sing Trapped in the Closet or Trapped in the Drive-Thru. Lord did the song Royals, but then Weird Al covered it with Foils. And I think Foils is a much better version. So it's
some improved.
Yeah. Like, I think he has actually like really done a lot to like just kind of preserve these songs, but maybe not in the way that the artists intended. I mean, you can also enjoy both sides of it. You know what I mean? Like, you can enjoy, I think all of that goes into it. Donovan here says, I've never really liked Weird Al. Maybe it's not my thing. I think you just need to like go at the beginning and just start with his early stuff, like the Dr. Demento stuff that he worked at Demento on, and then go from there. But this movie has nothing to do with his life. Like, period. This movie has like nothing to do with what really happened. And that is why it is uniquely better. Right. It's why it's uniquely better. It's Shiny here. It says no, Royals is better. No, you're wrong, dude. You're wrong. You're just wrong. You're wrong. You're subjectively wrong. But anyway, Weird Al's really good.
I do want to see it. I do want to see. The problem is, I keep saying like entertainment is better, is at a great place right now. There's like so much stuff to watch. Like, I still didn't see Andor. And people were, I'm like, don't give me any hints, but people are like, you need to see Andor episode 9,
dude.
Yeah, dude. I gotta see it. Like, I should be there now but I wanted to come on the show and support a little bit.
Well, where are you on episode 9 right now? Like, is that where
I missed last week's and this week's, so I have.
Okay, so you're doing episode. Okay, watch them back to back.
Yeah,
just sit down and watch them back to back, because it's like, man. Man, like Andor, I was like, okay, I thought Andor episode 6, like the robbery episode, the heist episode, like that was excellent. That was perfect. That was amazing. It was intense. It was very dramatic. It was action packed. Like, holy shit, there were consequences. There were stakes. I mean, things are happening. And then you get to episode number 9, and you're like, now you start to see what's going on, and you're like, oh, holy fucking shit. It is about to go the hell off.
And I still need to finish For All Mankind. Season 2 was like, I gave it a 10 out of 10. I actually gave it a review. And then season 3, I was like, ugh, it's not that as good. But I only have like 20 minutes left of the last episode of the season.
I don't know why you do that.
What?
I don't know why because you said that about like Extraction. You were watching Extraction.
Well, I had something happen.
You got like 20 minutes in.
No, I was watching it while I was eating and getting ready, and then I did a stream. The to the max we do at like 9:30, and I was like, oh, I don't have enough time to finish this.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I generally don't start something unless I know that I can finish it. Like that's basically like where I'm at with it. Like like if I can't, like I want to at least finish the episode. I don't like pausing.
That's the only way I could watch anything, especially when I have to go do stuff for my parents and stuff. Like I have to watch it in chunks. Like,
okay, I mean I get that.
McLeod, have you seen all 3 seasons? Season 2 was like one of my favorite shows ever, and then season 3, it gets very much like a soap opera almost. Like the plot points. I'm like, oh.
Well, a lot of that stuff ends up becoming that. Like a lot of shows end up. It's like like looking at like the Rings of Power, right? And there's a little bit here about Rings of Power I do want to get to, but you know, people were upset. Like, why is there drama in the show? Like, it's a show. There are rules you have to follow. There are things you have to do.
Well, McLeod, I'll just say this: I like the social commentary. The thing that I don't like, without spoilers, is someone's son. The whole story surrounding the son that started in season 2 and goes to season 3. I'm just like, oh. It's just, I don't like it.
Well, I'll have to, one day I'll get, one day.
It's a really good show, though. It's a really good show.
I'll definitely get my hands on Apple TV Plus at some point because they are really, really, really getting there in regards to content. I just don't think they have like a killer thing yet.
Well, what was the other show? Ted Lasso's really good, but also the first season was better than the other ones. And
that does happen in some shows. You know, some shows hit it out of the gate real quick, but then other shows like look at The Office. The first season of The Office is. It's so cringe. It's so cringe because they were trying to be over the top with Steve Carell. And then it took a little bit of time to raise up the other cast members to even him out. And then also to get him to soften up a little bit.
Oh, I did finish one movie with my wife today too, that because we have Peacock. I finally finished Halloween Ends. My dear Lord, I hate that movie. I really don't like to hate things anymore. But oh my God,
you and I should discuss Halloween Ends because I understand why you don't like
that movie.
But I think in the context of what it was going for, it did a great job. It's very metaphorical. But there are people that really dislike a choice
I didn't
made.
even want to finish it.
There's a choice made right before the end where people really like, even we're talking like diehard Halloween fans that have had to defend kills. And this one from like other people hating on it, we're like, there's this one thing that I do not like. And they really hate, it's a certain, I don't want to say what it is, but I'll tell you later. It was right before the climax where something gets taken. I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people like that. I really enjoyed all 3 movies. I enjoyed all 3 movies. But then again, like, dude, like I was telling my dad today, like, about like Terrifier. I'm like, dude, like I've just been enjoying like horror movies, like you got to watch X, Max, you got to watch X.
People have been saying that. I don't know.
X is really good. Pearl, I didn't think was as good. People told me Pearl is better than X. And I'm like,
should I watch the Chucky series? Cause that's also on Peacock, I think, or something.
I have been told it's amazing.
Really?
So yes, Caden really loves it. A lot of people out there really like it. Press 1's in the chat if you've watched Chucky. and everything else. Anthony here says Matt still trying to defend Halloween Ends. Yes. Yeah, Matt Ladner says love Halloween Ends, didn't like Halloween Kills. See, I liked both. I thought they were great. I thought they were both great. A lot about that. I still need to watch.
I would rather watch what White Zombie? What's Rob Zombies? Than
the Munsters?
Two. No.
Did you watch the Munsters?
Not yet, and I was really looking for. Like I said,
I watched it.
I need to watch. I need to finish Distraction. I need to I just started watching. I'm like, I want to get more out of my subscription services because I'm not buying stuff now. And I'm enjoying more watching things instead of owning them. And I have so much I need to watch.
Yeah, I'm in the same. So I'm trying to watch them and then do quick reviews of them and whatnot. I still want to get into the long form discussions, but it's just the timing right now. Real quick though, we did get Shiny here with $6.69. Thanks, Shiny. It says, "How dare you say I'm wrong? I might have a job soon. I can make it rain whenever you want." I can't tell if that is a threat or a promise. But thank you, Shiny. And we can always disagree about stuff because there's a lot of shit that I like that a lot of other people like, and a lot of things that I don't like that a lot of other people like. So there's that. And then Command Unit here brings up a Space Marine video. We'll watch that towards the end. Let's see. But there are some things. Hold on. Shane Cheer says Twitter at least has freedom now. Oh, honey, no. Honey, no. No, it doesn't. I'm sorry. You don't realize how bad things are going to get. It's not freedom. It's just paid speech.
I'm
anyway.
going True Social. Free,
right? Right. Also Barbarian. I have to watch Barbarian too. Yes. So there's that. Yeah, well, I don't have Apple TV Plus McLeod, so I can't really check out For All Mankind right now, but I do need to, I hear good things. Joel Kinnaman is great.
Season 2 was the pinnacle for me. Season 3 is good, but
now is it all out or is it going week to week?
Huh?
Is it all out? Is it?
Oh, I don't know how they released it because I'm catching up. I don't know if they I'm assuming it was week to week, but now all 3 seasons are there. You could do a week trial and watch all 3 seasons right now.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I could, dude, that's I don't know if I have time in a week to watch 3 whole seasons of a show. That's 30 hours of investment.
Yeah.
That's a lot for a week. Am I going to pay for the verification check mark? No. No. Even my dad.
I want to do it for a month to be at the start to see if it bumps up my Twitter and when I link videos there, if it starts helping. Just to see. I'm not going to worry about it. I just want to do it for a month to see what happens.
I'm like, you know what, man? It's not that important to me. But there are a lot of people out there that are going to go for it, and that's exactly what Elon wants.
I don't think I will do it long term. I just want to experiment.
I'm not going to spend $100 a year to be verified. I'm sorry. I use Twitter, but honestly, I just I'm okay. Yeah, I'm not that desperate. Rationally says I just got Twitter Blue. I can turn off and on my blue check mark. That's kind of crazy. So
what is Twitter Blue then?
Twitter Blue is the service you have to pay for. It allows you to edit tweets and things like that.
Is that what RJ? Is that why RJ's Twitter space has been blowing up too? That helps.
I don't know. I literally have no freaking idea.
Because I thought that's where you could do videos too. I don't know.
Well, Elon did say tonight. He made a comment tonight about how after this blow, after Twitter Blue, if that gets established, that he might start trying to figure out a way to get, he may try to find a way to turn on advertisements, monetary gain for content creators, a way for them to earn money on the platform. And if because again, if they want to compete with TikTok, if YouTube wants to compete with TikTok, if Instagram
they said they want to block TikTok.
That's the thing though, is they've got to compete with it, and to compete with it with the content creation, you got to bring in money. People want money, and it's not that people are greedy about money. It's really they just look, I create product does well. You make money off product. I don't get anything off product. Like that's not fair. It's really not that fair. Like it's like, like for these streams, if I was getting in like, 30, not even, if I was getting in like 3,000 views per stream, which I don't, I would probably not even watch trailers anymore, except outside of specific nights, because they get so many claims. Like I don't make any money on the post end. So it's like, there's like, we're all up against this massive system change right now. Anyway, there's a lot to get to tonight. Still a couple things to get to. I see Ralph here says our favorite meth dealer is now verified. Actually, Gary's been verified for a while. So I don't know, but there's now rumors going around saying that like Twitter was selling verification for $15,000. Now, the guy who posted it was a dude behind, like, I think it's like the Wall Street bets guy from Reddit, the guy behind the game, like part of the GameStop thing from a couple years back. But what he posted he said, oh, this is receipts. Like, receipts with who? Like who is this with? I read it. It's intriguing. And a lot of people are going to be talking about it. So here's the question then. If it's true that people paid $15,000 to get verified on Twitter,
that's a lot.
Did Nerderotic pay $15,000 to get verified on Twitter?
Unfortunately, he didn't need to.
I don't think he did. I don't think that he did. But again, it's like, it's that whole notion of so much misinformation, disinformation, and outright lies make it very difficult going forward with all that. But remember a couple years ago, YouTube wanted to get rid of their verification system outside of people who were considered relevant. So people in the like million plus category range, like sub count, basically. And a lot of smaller creators who were verified pushed back on that, citing the platform, their inability to police impersonation, and YouTube backed off of that. So, it is what it is. Did I see the image tonight of Ryan and Jeremy showing up at the Turning Point event to see DeSantis? I did. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, DeSantis.
Yeah. They Jeremy wasn't wearing a hat. He looks like a middle school gym teacher. So.
You mean he wasn't wearing his MAGA hat?
Yeah, he wasn't wearing his Geeks and Gamers hat. Yeah,
is he gonna pick his DeSantis over Trump?
He loves DeSantis.
I know he loves DeSantis.
And I think Trump even like mocked him tonight or whatever, called him DeSanctimonious or something. Like while he was, I don't even know. I heard something about it. I was watching a movie. I wasn't paying too close attention. Is he bald? He's not bald. He just has really weird hair. And I'm not really knocking that because I have very fine hair and it looks a little weird if it's not done right. Impersonator got poor Jarbo attacked by Pignor again. Oh, right. That's what happened when Andy tried to blackmail me. Jordan here. Oh yeah. Did you hear about this? A bunch of WB pages, verified pages on Facebook apparently have all started posting clickbait. That's been a weird thing. I saw that tonight. I didn't dive into it too much, but I did see it. So, all right, here, why don't we move on to the first thing today? Obviously, if you guys want to help support the channel, another thing you guys can do, head over to Podio Commentary. Watch my review, Wendell and Wild. I have more reviews up as tomorrow. I get the other things recorded. It's a fine movie, but those are my thoughts on it. First thing is, did you hear about this, though, is that Scoob Holiday Haunt, despite being canceled by Warner Brothers Discovery, actually finished its completion. So the movie is done.
So they could leak it somehow.
Not leak it, but all they're going to do is they're going to end up paying back the government for the tax if they want to pull it out. All they have to do is figure out how much money they saved and then pay that money back to the government and they can then release it. So, but it's like they canceled the movie and yet they still went out and finished production on it because it was almost done. It was just almost done. But here it's been a couple months. And so they spent a couple months finishing it up. That doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. But I really do hope that it ends up
I didn't see released. The last Scoob. Well, I do too, even though I'm not a fan of this. Like, I'm not nothing against Scooby-Doo. Listen, I'm friends with Caden. But I'm glad they were able to complete it. At least they own it. I'm sure we'll eventually see it somehow.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to eventually see it. But no, you should watch the 2020 movie. At first, I hated it. I first watched it. I absolutely fucking hated it. Then my kids kept wanting to watch it again. Like, all right. So I watched it a couple more times with them. And then now I really like it. Like, I really, really like it. So I do hope to see this one day. Yeah, Rodney Pierre says Scoob was actually really good. My daughters liked it. That's true. Zaslev will eventually sell off Universal or sell off the company. And then at that point, it will probably get brought back out. So, you know, a lot of people, I have a feeling this one will probably see the light of day before a lot of others. However, moving on, there is a report today saying that Lionsgate is looking to develop a major John Wick video game.
Yes, please.
That would be interesting. But the question is like, what development team would do it? Or I should say, what studio would want to produce this? And also, what type of game do you think that they would do? Because they already have a video game for Jonah. It's called John Wick Hex. And it's like
but that's not.
Yeah, it's like a turn-based.
You want really like an action.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a lot so there's things with that I'm interested in. I think if they were going to do it, obviously having a studio that is really good with like gun combat, right? Like a lot of really tight game combat. But do you make it a first-person shooter or do you make it a third-person shooter? I think a third-person shooter would be better. Yeah. I do think a third-person shooter would be a lot better. And then also the other side of that is if you want me, I will catch so much flack for saying this, but I stand by it here. I think Ubisoft should tackle it. I think, look, they're competent.
Ubisoft, all their games are samey, and they're just open world.
But I still love them. I don't care. I still love them. I'm playing through Ghost Recon Wildlands right now, and then I'm going to go back and replay Assassin's Creed Origins.
I'd prefer, my opinion, I'd prefer more like a structured game instead of like an open world. Although people might really love open world John Wick themed.
I think an open world John Wick game would be very interesting, but I do think it would be kind of
Platinum Games.
No. What? Would John Wick all of a sudden like do a weird special move and summon a demon?
Yeah, no.
I think having like Rockstar, something like Max Payne.
Rockstar, okay,
right? Like a Max Payne style game where it's linearly focused with really solid storytelling. But at the same time, if they do a John Wick video game, they could have it be like the Continental is the hub, and you end up picking out like he could be in the world, have an open world gameplay, but you get your new assignments from.
We do gain an hour, right?
Is that tonight? I have no idea. I literally have no idea. I have no freaking way of knowing. But I would like to see something with John Wick. McLeoder says Naughty Dog. Yeah, I think Naughty Dog would also be really good, but Sony's not going to pick up. Naughty Dog's not going to produce an IP that they didn't make. So give it to Crystal Dynamics. And they are who owns them now? It's not Square. I forget who bought them, but maybe, yeah, you know what, Mo? I agree with you on that one. I feel the work that Crystal Dynamics did with the 3 Tomb Raider games was really good. So
yeah, we do get an hour. I'm just not sure if my clock already changed or not, because I have a cell phone and a computer, so I don't know. Did we get it yet?
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Ralph Stubble Tits here says Rockstar first needs to remake The Warriors. Yes. Did you ever play The Warriors on the Xbox or PS2?
I know of the game. I know the movie. I just never really played the game.
It's excellent in regards to that shit. It's it's such a good brawler. Also, The Warriors is such a fantastic fucking movie. Mm-hmm. Really is. Okay, a couple quick super chats here to get to. All right. DeSantis, our Commander here for 5. Thanks, buddy. Says Ron DeSantis is very unpopular outside of the Republican base. Trump managed to win a lot of people over outside the base. DeSantis is very popular in Florida, and he's been making his way out to like Georgia and Arizona to try to invigorate the base there.
I think he would win against Biden. I'm feeling there's a red wave coming.
I don't think there's a red wave. I don't think there's a red wave coming as much as you might think. I do think that there are elements that are definitely going to change, unfortunately. Moisture here asks, have I voted yet in midterms next week? I have not voted, but I live in a vote by mail state. So I have to I have my ballot. I have to just go fill it out and then just go and turn it in to any of the numerous ballot drop off boxes that we have here. It's not like Washington is very liberal, so we don't have to worry about it being like Arizona, where what appears to be armed men in masks are standing outside of drop boxes in regards to some form of like intimidation.
What? Yeah, that's ridiculous. Why don't people want to conveniently vote? Like, I don't understand. You still have to.
The idea that, okay, so like, believe it or not, I was actually tagged in a TikTok today by some guy. He tagged my Deep Lore account, which I don't talk about politics on there. That's all for like true crime and weird shit. And he tags me and he's all like, why does it, like, the video says something like, why do votes need to take days to count? It should all be counted right then. And I'm like, you do know there's like 330 million Americans, right? So how many like hundreds of millions of votes do they have to count? Like, this shit takes time.
You want it to be accurate. You don't want mistakes, because these are the first people the same people that don't want any mistakes. Like, there shouldn't be any mistakes are the ones that like rush. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, that was the whole point of everything. Like, look, if you want to know my honest opinion, I think the one thing, like, there's a couple elections that are really key outside of the whole, like, look, whether or not like the House gets skipped or whatever. But I think I think the Senate race in Pennsylvania is a big one, as you were just saying. And I don't know what's going to happen. I think that debate did not go well for Fetterman. But I mean, at the same time, Oz is like, it seems to be so pretty universally fucking hated in this. I don't even know. And then also you've got the gubernatorial race out of Georgia with Stacey Abrams versus Brian Kemp. And that one should be very interesting to see how that turns out. A lot of craziness going to go down next week. So, but I do agree with Jess here. No. I do not want Death Santis to win. I agree. I very, very much agree. Thomas here asks, what about you, Max? Did you vote?
No, not yet.
Okay. It's such one of the states where it's like super fucking impolite, it's all like, it's like, what, never talk about politics or religion, and then people like, so you vote yet? Like, like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's such a good thing that, like, it's like, I'm not single. I'm very happy about that. I don't have to worry about that particular conversation. Jesus Christ. So, oh wow, I got tagged in an old post from 2000 and it's got a notification.
I'm undecided. I really want to hear what Oz has to say. No, I'm just kidding.
Do you really want to decide what Oz has to say?
I'm joking.
Do you really want to do that?
I also did some research on the daylight savings. Apparently in 13 minutes, like, our clocks are gonna, like, if you have a clock that automatically adjusts, it'll go back to 1.
Well, for 13 minutes for you.
Yeah.
Still a couple hours for me.
Oh, no, I know. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, so here I want to show you guys this real quick.
That's really a satisfying thing when you're like, I gained an hour.
Oh yeah. I was back when I was a younger lad. I used to go to strip clubs on daylight savings night, fall back, and I'd be like, well, it's like only 1 a.m. now. You guys got to stay open an extra hour, and they're like, shut the fuck up.
Are they really going to do away with it? Because that's like my favorite time of the year.
Well, no,
when I gain an hour.
They absolutely should get rid of it. They absolutely should, because okay, so in spring, when spring goes forward, people are actually have fucking died, because it just throws them off, right? It just absolutely throws them off and everything when they do all that. So it just I get it entirely. Let me see. Oh, by the way, so I want to show you guys this. I just got tagged this short film I worked on back in 2011. The director or the star of it just posted this shot here. This is us.
You're cheesing.
Yeah, this is young Matt. This is like, I was 29?
Yeah.
This is in 2011. Yeah, we ended up shooting this. This was like 4 in the morning.
Can you compete with the Epic Verse?
I could write better content than them. This was in LA. This was in South LA. We were guerrilla filming on the street, middle of the night. A lot of fun. A lot of fun times. I don't talk to anyone else in this photo anymore. But
why not?
well, because the guy on the left there, that was Jeff. He was my roommate that I moved to LA with. It was him, and my girlfriend. And our friendship fell apart at the end, man. It fell apart. And then the guy 2 over from him with the hoodie on, that's Ace. That's his name. His name is Ace. And Ace owned the studio that I worked at down in San Diego. And then Ace had moved to LA before Jeff and I did. And then we were helping out with I was doing sound and grip work on this short and whatever. And we had a good time. It was just LA has a way of changing you, so to speak. That's, I think, the best way to describe it is that. So, like, so there's all that.
You should do another. You should do like a horror movie. Those are lower budget. I just came up with an idea for an independent horror movie. Do like a reality thing where, like, behind the scenes, where like a group of friends are filming a low budget horror movie, but then it really happens. People really start getting killed. And people don't believe it because they're like, "Are you acting?" I don't know. There you go. There's an idea.
Well, we ended up actually kind of doing a movie kind of like that.
Okay.
So I'll see if I could fucking find it. It's been so goddamn long. Hold on here. All right. I gotta find the trailer if we can. So anyway, back in 2011, right? At the beginning of 2011, I had this idea for a horror movie because I worked at this theater called the Regency Academy 6. And the Regency Academy 6 is in Pasadena. And it's like a 6-screen theater. It used to be a single screen playhouse. And then they eventually, converted it into 6 different screens. And it's it's an old building, completely rat infested, but there's a lot of little like hidden doors and passageways and stuff. And we shot a movie there. Actually, I got permission from my boss to use the building. And I just like, I think they got rid of the website. There was a website. Yeah, it's not there anymore. Let's see here if I can find it on the Wayback Machine, because we got it. I wrote it. I wrote the outline. I produced the movie. And then what happened is we needed to go in for pickups, but unfortunately there really wasn't much that we were able to really do. And that ended up just kind of, like, it all kind of fell apart. Like, the movie will never, ever, 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 ever see the light of day, which is unfortunate because I thought the concept was really cool. And like the idea of it was really sweet. And it was basically about, people going into a movie theater in the middle of the night to like watch it's an old closed down theater, but like they're going to go watch a rare screening of a movie, and then shit just starts going crazy. And I think all of the, everything got taken away. I'm just trying to find it. I should save this, but I just don't have it. Oh God. It's unfortunate. Like, it's unfortunate to go back and, just, things you want to work on.
Yeah.
But just like, you just don't get, they just never come through. And it happens all the fucking time. But we shot the movie in 5 days. We shot it at night. In Pasadena, and then we wanted to do other stuff with it, but we were just unable. I think we only spent like fucking, God, how much? $2,000 on it, maybe.
That's
was
cool.
Like what the budget was. It was like super, super, super low budget, And then the guy who put it all together, he was a photographer he was an artist out of Colorado who co-directed the movie. Yeah, I can't find it right now. I'd have to, I know it's on YouTube. I just don't remember where it's at because it's under like a different name. So
if anyone could find me a link of that big independent movie too, my friends really want to see it.
What's it called? It's called my Big
fat
fat
independent
movie.
Because you can't buy it digitally. It's on DVD only. And Chris Score adored me.
Yeah. Well, because you're not, because you're not a chud. Yeah. Ooh, it's only got a 32%.
And one of the people that gave a good review on Rotten Tomatoes is someone that's associated with his company.
Oh, of course. Of course it is. It was put out by a company called Big Fat Movies LLC. Hmm. Yeah, you can, dude, just buy the fucking DVD for $3.
Yeah, but they want a watch party. How do I do a DVD watch party?
No, I don't fucking know. I got no idea. I mean, my Big Fat Independent Movie, you can buy it right now for $7.83. So that, or 93 cents on Amazon. Or you can find it. Oh no, there's a new copy apparently for $3.49, but with a $4 delivery. You know, how much you want to bet that's sold by Chris Gore himself? Mm-hmm. It's probably just sold by Chris Gore, and he's like, yeah,
wait, Anthony, can you find it for me? Or I might buy the DVD and just like put my webcam on the TV for an hour and a half, record it in StreamYard, and then play it because I don't know what else to do.
Come on, man, come on.
I haven't pirated since the Napster days.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't even know where to start.
Haven't pirated since the fucking Napster days.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's pretty funny. I haven't. You just gotta love it. Like, how is it?
I'm scared, Matt. I'm scared to go to the high seas now in 2022.
Like, I mean, I get it, I guess. Like, you know, I mean, they did do a lot to make it. So a lot of people don't want to, you know, what is it that they don't want to? Oh my God. Fucking Geekosity Mag interviewed Monty Michael Moore. Oh, great. That's the guy that directed the screenplay. Mm. I didn't know. I should DM him. Be like, hey, what's going on with that fucking movie, dude? I really want to find it now. Like, it's been scrubbed from the internet. That's the unfortunate thing. It's just been like scrubbed from everything, and I get it. I totally get it. It's just there was a trailer, there's a teaser that we have that I want to find, and now I'm just kind of on it. God damn it. Anyway, sorry everybody. I know we're kind of off point here.
My fault.
Nah, it's okay. It's okay. I wonder if it's listening. Okay, yeah, he doesn't have it. All right, cool. All right, what we got? Command unit here for 5. Thanks, buddy. Says, I have one called Sandcastle. The sand of the beach comes possessed by a supernatural entity and it begins producing horrors. Interesting. I think at this point, if you do one of those things where you want to like do a horror movie, I think, dude, I mean, looking at like recently, I feel like anime and I feel like horror movies are like really some of the only things keeping movie theaters afloat. You know, like, because Black Adam is done okay. Nothing to blow anyone's skirt up, but it's done okay. But you look, it's like people are going like, oh, Terrifier's only gotten bigger. Smile, albeit kind of a stupid movie, from what I hear, has ended up holding its own really well. Halloween did pretty decent for its first weekend. You know, there's a One Piece movie that just came out this weekend that apparently is doing pretty good. You know, and there we go. An anime horror movie. That's it. There we go. Blizzing is right. That's how you do it. Speaking of horror movies, Texas Chainsaw Massacre coming to 4K Ultra HD in 2023. That will be fun. Have you ever seen the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
No, I'm not a big horror.
Oh, dude, that movie will fuck you up, man.
Yeah.
I don't want
to get fucked up.
It's a freaky movie. It's got some moments in it that make you just go, wow, okay. Like, all right, that is something that that they could that they could make work, I guess, at some point. We'll just, unfortunately, we're gonna have to wait and see if how the 4K works. Some 4Ks do well, some 4Ks don't. Anyway. All right, let's keep moving on here. A couple things. All right, we got tomorrow is Stranger Things Day. Have you heard about this?
I completely forgot of that. Stranger Things. No.
Yeah, well, here's a little teaser for it.
Ready? Yes. Oh my God. What? Why? Oh my God. Okay, what's happening?
Did I round up the posse? Saddle the horses?
What is it? You gotta see it to believe it, my dude.
Use your imagination.
Who needs imagination?
Don't bullshit me, man.
Oh, thank God.
But this one is kind of a big deal.
Pleasure.
Oh.
Never mind how.
Now for the fun part.
Really?
It's pretty damn big.
I want to see what the Duffer Brothers do next.
Oh yeah. Wait, so they said that it's going to be in the putting season 4 volume 2 in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Is that happening tomorrow? Let me look, because that'd be. I mean, like that's like 4.5 hours.
Oh, I gained an hour. Woo!
Welcome back, buddy. Welcome to the party. Welcome. We just witnessed a man go back in time.
It's really great to see it.
Now, I guess, I mean, are you gonna do anything special? You gonna go play video games, stay up? What do you said you were gonna
stay up later. I'm probably gonna stream. I'm probably gonna do an episode of Scoop Wars.
Well, okay. So for my audience that doesn't know what Scoop Wars is, what is Scoop Wars?
I try to be more objective than people give me credit for. They say I'm a sill shill and I get called all kind of things, but I like to cover all scoops and from all different outlets, and say if I think it's probable, bullshit, legit or bullshit. I stole that from Nicotina. Since you mentioned it, I'm gonna go over that John Wick thing too. As of gaming, I want to get into gaming scoops, but there's not a lot going on in gaming right now. Unfortunately, there's not. Besides the big releases, there's not a lot of scoops in gaming right now.
Well, I mean, I feel like a lot of stuff kind of, how do I say it? I feel like a lot of stuff kind of feels like it's like caught in a transition period. Like we're in the hype, we're in the middle. It's November. This is like big game release central.
It seems like consoles are more, buying consoles, next gen consoles is still a big thing, but actually getting new next gen games is like pretty few and far between. It's more about subscription services like PlayStation Plus and Game Pass, but there's not, especially Xbox. Game Pass is amazing, but how many Series X games besides third parties? Rhea say big games like the new Sonic. I'm happy she's so excited about the news. I'm not very interested in the new Sonic Frontiers. I love Sonic, but what else just came out? God of War Ragnarok looks amazing, but I can wait on that.
Yeah, that's dropping here.
It's out now.
Is it out? I thought it comes out on Tuesday.
Oh, well, maybe the review came out. Okay. So, I know the reviews are out. Maybe the reviews launched before. Okay.
Yeah, the reviews have definitely
10 out
launched.
of 10.
Yeah, a lot of 10 out of 10. It's the best game ever. I've never seen anything better. Fucking God of War. There's a lot of that goes on. And I'm not against any of it, to be fair. I think God of War from 2018 was really fantastic. This one is obviously something where they are wanting to make it.
I like the gameplay better in the old God of War games. I think the stories, like you can't jump easy in this remake. I didn't finish it.
You don't need to jump though. Like
I like how fluid the combat is in the old games.
I mean, the combat in the old fluid, it's all button mashing in the old games.
You earned better moves and stuff. It got a little deeper.
Okay, okay, fine. So you end up getting to a place in the old games where it's like you have to remember the combos. You have to remember combos here as well, but it's like a lot of that was just all that kind of stuff, right? I don't know. Like I've never really cared for
when I got to the part
games,
there were some parts in the remake where you were like throwing the axe and it got really tedious. You know, some of the axe throwing, it felt clunky to me.
In the axe throw. Okay.
Some of the puzzles with the axe throwing, I was getting really annoyed with. It was more action oriented before.
Yeah, I get that. Well, I mean, okay.
And I like jumping. Like I for some reason it really bugs me when games remove the jump function.
You know, it's funny you say that, right? So back in 2007 or 2006, when I was at E3, we were waiting in line for like 4 hours to play the Nintendo Wii. Mm-hmm. And we took turns while we were waiting. And so at one point, a friend of mine and I decided, we went off on our little jaunt to go kill time. And we ended up going into a Mass Effect press con to a demo. We ended up just kind of going into this behind closed doors demo for Mass Effect, and they showed us the game. This is a whole year and a half before it came out. And at one point, my friend asks the developers, like, so, because, it was a lot of cover-based shooting, right? And he asked him, like, so can you jump in this game? And the developer goes, no, we're not making that kind of game. So you're just like, all right, like, I don't know what the fuck that means, but okay. But I thought that was kind of funny. All right. I found it. I found the screenplay teaser trailer. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So, okay, this is, I'll just preface this. This is the movie that we shot. We were talking about that. First week of January, 2011 in Pasadena. This was a trailer that we cut together literally the following week after we finished principal photography. And this is literally, there's been one other little teaser that's been done, but other than that, this is all that remains of that film.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby together.
I hate scary movies.
Back!
Ooh. Ooh. Screenplay.
Yeah, so if you
That's
look at
cool. I like it.
Oh yeah, and there's one little bit at the end of that too.
We got our own Shriek Fest tonight, or what?
So we let me bring up the credits here, so you guys can see it. Produced by Matt Jarbo, written by Matt Jarbo and Monty Moore, directed by.
Why is Ray saying hell no?
Hell no.
About what?
I don't know. I mean, like, so yeah, FNAF vibes a little bit. I've never played FNAF, so I can't be accused of stealing. But yeah, we wanted the teaser. We really wanted to play into the concept of the security cameras, and the idea there is that it is meant to be an abandoned theater, and everything else. Even though the theater was very active, we actually this is 100% true. We had to shoot around the guy who was doing the cleaning of the theater at night. We had the custodian guy, right? Mm. The custodian guy was one dude who would come in at midnight and he would stay until about approximately 8 o'clock in the morning. Then he would clean everything. One guy, 6 theaters, all the bathrooms and everything else.
So you never finished this?
We never finished the movie. We shot it.
You should bring this. It sound, even the name screenplay sounds amazing.
I mean, yeah, so
There's
so
more
this is-
abandoned theaters more than ever.
Well, what sucks about this is I had a falling out with Jeff, the cinematographer, who was my roommate. That was the guy in this photo on the left, right? And Ace is the guy here, two over from the left in the hoodie. So Jeff and I were really, really, really tight friends. Like really, you know, I met him in film school. I took him under my wing, you know, and like hung out with him. And like every time an opportunity came up, I tried to bring him in. I introduced him to Ace. I introduced him to a lot of stuff. And we just had it falling apart. And then when that whole thing fell apart, Ace, who I'd known longer, who I'd been really good friends with as well, Ace kind of chose Jeff in that whole situation. And that had a lot to do with the fact that Ace and Jeff worked together all the time because they had the gear. I didn't have any gear. Even though I had invested money into Ace's equipment, you know, it was a very tough situation. It was a very whatever. And
So
then
you
Monty,
would you be able to even do it without you all have to?
well,
be included?
I mean, I'd have to, I mean, like Monty is at Comic-Con every year. I haven't seen him in a couple of years. We talk occasionally. Ace has all the footage. I don't even know if I haven't talked to Ace in a decade now. So the fucker owes me money too. Like he owes me $1,000 and I'm never going to get it, which is unfortunate, but whatever. This is the problem. There's a lot of emotion with this stuff. So occasionally I bring this movie up. Occasionally, you know, I talk about it and I really would love to see it. I think it's a fun story. I think it's an interesting play on everything. I think it has a lot of Paranormal Activity vibes and I think it could have done well. I think it could still do well. I think we could still release it and find an audience, but there are things that do need to be put into it in order to finish it. Like it would need some money to get into it. Cause we got to like, you know, finish. I think we need to like reshoot the ending. And again, it's been a decade. So it's like these actors they don't even look the same anymore. You know what I mean? Like it's totally old school.
What if you adapted it in like someone investigating it in today's day and find all this footage and that's how you finish it? I don't know.
Oh, I mean, that would be something we could do. You know, that would be something.
Someone investigating it. Like,
yeah. Well, at this point,
finding it like someone 2022 or 2023, finding this now and going back and trying to piece it together. I don't know.
Well, one of the things that I would do if it were me at this point, I would do most likely what they wanted to do with, Paranormal Activity at first, right? So Paranormal Activity filmed and it ended up going to, you know, it got picked up and they were actually going to reshoot the whole movie, right? They're just going to reshoot the whole movie. But they started realizing that audiences actually got scared watching this movie in theaters as it was, you know, as unpolished as Paranormal Activity was. It was able to really elicit that kind of response from the audience. Mm-hmm. And I think even Spielberg is the one who suggested just release it because he watched the movie privately. This is, of course, the rumor that I hear is that he watched the movie privately and it freaked him out a bit. And then at the end, he went to go leave his office and like the door had locked and it spooked him because it freaked him out. And so at that point, he, you know, that was his recommendation from my understanding. And I think it worked out well. The movie, you know, cost very, very little money. They used audience reactions to sell it in the theater and people went to go see it. It made a lot of fucking money. This movie is one that, you know, we tried to model it after Paranormal Activity. I think even like my movie In Search Of has a lot to do. You know, I was trying to parody, not parody, but like take homage from like my favorite, you know, like found footage movies and kind of give it a different vibe than let's say Paranormal Activity. But I finished it right around the time Catfish came out. And so it got compared to Catfish quite a bit, even though I had no idea what Catfish was at the time when I filmed it. And I still show In Search Of to anybody who wants to watch it. It's free to watch, you know? And so it just ends up kind of being like, that whole scenario. I do have an idea for a movie, not a horror, but definitely a thriller. And it's one that, I mean, I could potentially just do myself, like where I would just be the main actor in the movie. And a lot of it would be like, have you heard of a movie called Searching? It's John Cho. It's like mostly shot through a computer screen, like shot through a webcam. Guy trying to find his missing daughter, right? It would be kind of like that, but actually inspired by a true story. And using what we have available to us as far as technology goes to be able to like track something down and like everything. It's just like I don't want to give the full idea of it just yet because I haven't fleshed it out yet in my mind, but I could potentially do the vast majority of the movie on my own. And
Chris
not
Wozniak
even
isn't in the chat, is he? Be careful.
is what Chris. Oh yeah.
Be careful with telling your ideas here.
Yeah. Well, Anthony here says, I never saw Blair Witch 2. I mean, Blair Witch 2 was so vastly different from the first Blair Witch, you know. But like, you know, it is very much is that one. We must revive this Project Jarvis comeback film. I only produced it and wrote it and you know, oversaw the production as regards to like, you know,
watch the Jarboverse.
Apparently there's a movie called Screenplay by Troma. I didn't know that. The title would absolutely change. You know, let's see. Inspired by real event horror makes lots of money. Yeah. Well, the idea that I would be pulling from is as an event that it has a really cool ending to it, or a funny ending to it. It's not scary, but I would like, you know, make it scary. It's like Enola Holmes 2 starts off by saying the following is inspired by true events or is based on true events. And you're like, wait, what? How the hell is Enola Holmes 2 inspired by true events? You get to the end of the movie, you find that out. And you're like, oh, that was actually really interesting how they did that. You know, a little like clearly revisionist history, but you know, like you can play into it. And obviously that whole based on true events thing could work. Even though it would be so wildly different. It's like, you know, that show on Netflix, The Watcher, and they're like inspired by true events. And even though like all it is some guy sending creepy letters to a family, the show like turns it into this weird like cult thing, you know. I mean, so far removed from everything. Yeah, anyway, Spherical Manor asks, getting caught up. Good to see my friend Max. Does this mean he's going to stream later on that Jarbo is the fluffer?
Yes.
There you
go. Yes.
Yeah, there we go. We'll fluff it. But all right, there's what else I want to cover here? Oh yeah, so this popped up tonight. Netflix and Blumhouse exit martial arts film Absolute Dominion. This is interesting. Like, this is kind of odd. So it says here that Netflix will no longer distribute and Blumhouse Productions will no longer produce Absolute Dominion, a science fiction martial arts drama from Lexi Alexander. Netflix greenlit the movie earlier this year with Jason Blum and his Blumhouse Television banner on board to produce. It's unclear why the two companies departed, but the filmmaking team is seeking new distribution. Principal photography took place this spring in Nevada. The project has already wrapped filming and is currently in post-production. Bill and Ted actor Alex Winter, Patton Oswalt, and newcomer Desiree Mia star in the violent post-apocalyptic film, which takes place in 2085 AD, after the world has been destroyed by religious warfare. Desperate to save humanity, global governing forces host a gripping, no-holds-barred martial arts tournament. The last fighter standing wins absolute dominion for one faith. So it's blood sport, but with religion?
Awesome.
I mean, like, why the fuck not, right? Yeah, it's just, what? All right. So here's the thing. Here's the thing with this one, right? Lexi Alexander. Have you ever heard that name before?
No.
Lexi Alexander directed The Punisher Warzone.
Oh, okay.
And she's also an open advocate for piracy. So that was interesting. She's made a couple very interesting comments on social media as a result of this kind of stuff. And she's generally not really well liked from my understanding in the industry, but I don't know why. If they've already shot the movie, it must be bad. Whatever state this movie is in, it's gotta be bad. If Netflix pulled out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Netflix is like, they clearly are past the point of we don't give a shit. They've moved on past that. They're trying to, I think, curate more good content. But, Blumhouse? I mean, Blumhouse is known for putting out mostly good stuff, but they've got some Black Christmases under their belt. You know,
Yeah.
and even Halloween Ends was through them. So you could look at Halloween Ends and say this was shit. But this will have to be interesting to see. Yeah, Jess here, Netflix has standards. Like, I know, right? What the fuck? Crazy stuff. We'll have to wait to see what happens with this. Just thought it was super interesting. Oh, so she actually, Lexi Alexander is a former world kickboxing champion, and she wrote and co-produced it. So yeah, she did Green Street Hooligans with Elijah Wood and Charlie Hunnam, as well as Punisher Warzone. And yeah. And she was a stunt woman on Mortal Kombat Live Tour. So, I mean, obviously, I think the combat would be interesting. She probably would be able to shoot a pretty compelling martial arts movie. But maybe just where we are right now, they're like, I don't know if we want to do a movie about a world being destroyed by religious warfare, and all of these governing forces are moving, to Las Vegas to hold a battle royale, and whoever fighter wins is gonna win for the one faith, I just hope it's the fucking atheist at the end of it. Cause it's gonna piss off Christians if Christians don't win, and it's gonna piss off everybody else if they don't win.
Yeah.
So you know what? That should be interesting. They should, I don't know, man, that's crazy. The fact that Netflix pulled out tells me that this was clearly not in good standing. So anyway, here's something I wanted to touch upon as well. Talking about Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, and the fact that Mr. Andy Serkis, a guy well-versed in the world of the Lord of the Rings, having not only starred as Gollum and Smeagol in the original trilogy, but did you know he was the second unit director of, I believe, Desolation of Smaug, as well as the Battle of Five Armies? So he served as the second unit director on the movies, having worked very closely with Peter Jackson. And if you've been watching Andor, the guy's an amazing actor. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Right. He the stuff he's in with Andor elevates the
than Snoke.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the question is is this what's going on with this? Is this going to be a lead in for Snoke? I don't believe so. I hope not. Cause I'm really invested in his character at this point. However, here's what he says when asked about Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, saying, yeah, I absolutely watched it. And it really, once you get through understanding the rules of it and actually how loyal to the trilogy and the feel of the trilogy, music by Howard Shore for the opening sequence, etc., I found it incredibly engaging. And I really, really enjoyed watching it. And also because I've done an audiobook recording The Lord of the Rings and I've read the appendices and had to read them out loud, I was quite clued up about where it was going to go, which was great. And it was really helpful because I'm going to be, don't tell anyone, reading the Silmarillion as well. So you heard it here first. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it very much. So, I mean, the guy, this guy is as connected to Lord of the Rings, I think, as anybody else, to be fair. And if he's coming out going he's like, look, I've read the appendices. I know where this is going. They set it up really, really well, and he enjoyed but it was different than the trilogy. It was different. Once you understand the rules of where this is, of what's going on, it makes all the sense in the world. And I think that was a big problem with Amazon's marketing, is trying to explain to people what the appendices are who aren't normal Lord of the Rings fanatics, not the self-prescribed Tolkien scholar. It's going to be a little bit on the difficult side. But again, the show was, outside of the first episode, very well paced in my opinion. I loved it. I can't wait to watch it again. And I hope they release the goddamn thing on home video so I can actually have a 4K copy of it, because I really want that. And yes, also Music Man, he is an Andor, and he's great. Trust me.
I hear this is how good Andor supposedly is that I haven't seen yet. These last few episodes, it has people that were absolutely hating. They're like, "Well, I'm glad I gave it a second chance." I'm like, "What,
dude?"
After these last few episodes,
I started watching it again. My girlfriend the other night was like, "Hey, let's watch a movie," and I'm like, "Well," she's like, "Oh, is there a show you want to watch?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I want to catch up on Andor," and because I was 5 episodes behind, I was just behind, And then she's like, okay, well, we can watch it. I'm like, you haven't seen, they're kind of halfway through the season right now. So I have to kind of explain where things are. She's like, okay, cool. So, she just wants to hang out, right? And the kids were going to go off doing other things. So we sat down, we watched like a couple episodes, like episodes 5, like 6, 7, and 8. And we watched those in one sitting, and she was into it. And then by the end of this episode, she was like, fuck, like, she's like, where's the next episode? I'm like, not till next week. She's like, God damn it. Because the way this last episode ends, it's like, you feel what's coming. And it's like, it is supreme what's coming. Cannot wait.
I have to leave right now.
Well, you know what? I mean, yeah, I'm, we're getting close to the end of this episode.
Oh, okay,
So, yeah.
Oh, no,
So moving on, because the last topic of the night, before getting into checking out
is this
stuff.
possible?
Is this possible? I'll tell you this though. I think it might be possible, man. I'll tell you why.
I've actually been saying I don't see how they can market it after Batgirl being canned. I don't like.
Well, I mean, Batgirl was, that was that again, the tax write-off. David Ayer has handled DC very, very, very poorly, and we all know that. And so it's not very difficult to see where things are with this. But so the Suicide Squad Ayer cut today, they had a big event, right? They had a huge event. They put it out Twitter trending here. This is from a number of hours ago. It actually premiered at number 4 with 17 tweets, got up to number 3 the next hour. Then it got up to the other, and we can see here 13 hours ago got to number 2, 57,000, sorry. And then it dropped from number 2 to number 8. And then from there, it just kind of dunked out. But after it did end up getting up to I think over 127,000 tweets before it left the top trending nationwide. Right. I thought that was interesting. So then I went and looked on a worldwide level. Like, how did it trend worldwide? It did get into the top 50, but at number 50 for only an hour. And then it was out of the top 50. So it peaked. It did peak worldwide for a hot second. And then ended up getting itself, taken off and whatever. So obviously there were people out there that were really heavily pushing this, and that's really cool. We also found out that someone asked David Ayer, like, hey, during production, was there any input from Zach on how to make the movie line up with the rest of the universe? And David Ayer says yes. Now, we already kind of knew that. If you've seen Suicide Squad, you know that they were building a universe. They were building it with multiple, there were crossovers. Yeah. They were building it up, obviously. But how much of that would play out in whatever he shot? Because, David Ayer has been very open, very vocal about how he doesn't like how they, that they tried turning it into a fucking commercial. Like, what he shot was something way different than what we got. And, obviously the fan base wanted to do a big push today. It did end up getting a fair amount of attention on Twitter. Of course, it happened at a time when Twitter is under this massive, you can almost call it like a fucking civil war on Twitter right now because of the Elon Musk takeover and all the verification stuff. Like, no one's really talking about anything else from the perspective of like movements. Like, no one is really like, I was looking up today, Release the Ayer cut got a little bit of love from some articles, but really not much. I mean, it just did not do what they wanted it to do. And that's the problem with it, right? Like, that's just the problem. So I'm looking up here again on Google right now. There's been a couple of, So only, oh God, this is sad. So I type Release the Ayer cut in Google, look at the news for the last 24 hours. And guess how many articles popped up? 3. We got this covered, Fandom Wire and The Direct. Yeah. And The Direct is the only one that has, like, I think any kind of real credibility. Nobody else was pushing this movie. Nobody else was talking about this movie. Even though we got 37 seconds of new footage. Did you see the new footage?
No.
Check this out.
They actually had the go ahead.
Yeah. And there's the Joker back there. Yeah. Did you see that in the background? The Joker was beating somebody to death.
Oh no. Where?
In the, if I could get a screenshot, you see it. It's in the guy in the back right there. The behind. So there's a guy in the red, and then immediately to his left, there's someone with a bat smacking, and you can see the green hair. So it's Joker killing somebody back there. RJ here says the coverage for this event was super muted. I didn't even see any cast members of the movie tweeting out something like the Snyder Cut. That's just, dude, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Margot Robbie is the reason why is why this whole thing is not being pushed the way that it is. You know, I mean, it sucks because I want to see it. I really, really, really want to see it. Show the studio version. I don't have that brought up.
Well, that'll get you.
Yeah.
Warner
but
Bros.
this is what, you know, David Ayer is doing what he can to put this out there. And I respect him for it.
Why do you say that, RJ? How do you know it would suck? Just everyone keeps saying that.
See,
how do you know?
I disagree about it sucking. I mean, you could sit there and say that the Snyder Cut would suck, right? You could go, well, the Snyder Cut's just more of the same story, just sucky, right? And I've seen those complaints, but I think the Snyder Cut added far more nuance to the characters and a lot of what was going on.
Now he wants a link.
Okay, well, we could send him a link real quick. All right, you guys.
It's a horrible take. Like it's been consistently. All my friends keep saying, "Well, it's probably going to suck still." Like, imagine your art getting taken over, and we just don't know. It still could suck, but not knowing what his original vision was and seeing it on film, it was completely taken over. We know this for a fact. This is not the way he intended to do, and to people to just be so negative on it, you just don't know. So much could be done in editing. Look at the original Star Wars. Marshall Lucas saved that, right? Even editing the same footage, but if you have different footage and editing, it could completely change everything, right?
Well, RJ here is saying that we've seen the script of the Ayer cut, and a lot of it wasn't good. But then again, that's like stuff gets changed as they shoot it, you know? Anyway, here's RJ to defend his take.
Damn you, RJ.
No, what's wrong with my take?
You just
the script's already come out and it sucked. I mean, listen. I still think it should get released, but I'm not clamoring for this like the Snyder Cut. I mean, we know what this movie looks like and what it is. We've seen the script, so it's not great. I still think it should get released, but I'm not like excited for it.
Are you saying that the whole script has come out?
Pretty much, I could have sworn most like the big stuff in his version's already been out there for a while. So
but you have to see execution and delivery.
But I just don't care.
Okay, wow. Who is this RJ?
I'm just saying, I just don't care about like this as much as I do the Snyder Cut. I just don't. Like, would it be cool if it got out? Sure, but like I'm not like clamoring for this or like thirsting for it. You know,
I'm thirsting. I'm very thirsty.
So you wanted to come on in just to say that you just don't want it?
No, I'm not saying I don't want it per se. I'm very indifferent towards it. That's a better way to put it. But also, too, I'm just very surprised at how muted this whole event was. You know, I really thought it would have been made a much bigger deal, would have gotten more support from people who worked on the movie. Like, I'm shocked I didn't see Jared Leto tweet about it or anybody else. And I'm not sure what happened. Like, it started off really strong in the morning, and then once, like, the sporting events happened today, like the
Maybe
WWE...
something changed.
Well,
WWE pay-per-view happened, and then once that happened, it was done.
The bots got done, it just moved on.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's the Elon Musk effect.
No,
Elon's already taken over. All the bots are under control a little bit. They can't run as rampant. I don't think people
care about this one as much as they did the Snyder Cut. I'm sorry.
No, I do agree there. It's not as.
Also, too, you know what I think it also is? People are going to like this, I'm going to be honest. I think this is a sign that the Snyder fandom is forever fractured and broken after the events of the last couple months. A lot of them refused to support this event because of what happened with James Gunn getting hired and them walking away from DC completely. So we have a lot of people who don't support those organizing this hashtag campaign, and Snyder fandom was not as united as they were before. So I think that also had an impact.
I agree with that.
What is it like? There's a lot that has gone on with the fans of just again.
The fandom's not the same as it was like back in
because the fandom we now know that the fandom is full of a lot of fucking bots.
Well,
there was a lot of people that were
Zack Snyder even show support today. That would have been something.
No, not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I don't think that would have helped. Like if Zach, like, yeah,
dude, can we be real here? Zach is very much out for himself. Nothing wrong with that, but it's true. Yeah. It's true. Zach is, he's out for himself, and fine. But
because Ayer was helping support Zach during the release,
Yeah, and I know you, and you figured Zach would have also come back around and done things like that.
But it was great for well, I don't know for a fact. I should check that out before let me check that out. See Zack Snyder's Twitter.
Well, okay, so I did look up to see like what the what some of the script pieces are, and like only a couple pages came out, but they were confirmed to be real.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I'm just not interested, to be honest. There's just a lot of it. I'm just like, whatever. I mean, if it comes out, it comes out. But I'm not like, I don't think it'd be as radically of a different film as a lot of people think it would be, to be honest.
Yeah,
radically different though. But again, like it could be tonal, subtle. Like it
would mostly be tonal. It would be tonal changes and like musical changes would be the biggest of it. Some additional scenes here and there, of course, a lot more choker, but it's still the same movie at its core DNA, and the core DNA of the original film, I thought was just, to put it nicely, I don't think it was very good. If I'm going to be perfectly honest, I think it's dog shit. I hated that original movie. So.
The first half of the movie,
that's also not his cut though. That was done by a trailer company after adding in all the music and trying to make it
the core story. Like the core story that like both versions have, I just don't like. So
the introduction of Harley and in Will Smith, and it was amazing when he's taking the guns when they're trying to get him to participate in the Suicide Squad. It was so good.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I liked the theatrical cut. It ain't great, but I liked it.
There's like two good scenes, and the rest made me want to die.
When it got to the putty people, that was what was like stupid.
Oh no, it was stupid even before that. But it is what it is. I do not like that theatrical version at all. I think it's one of the worst superhero movies released like the last 5-10 years. It's really bad in my opinion.
It's really not that bad.
Oh, I hate it.
It ain't great.
I hate it.
I think
way better than Morbius.
I guess. I mean, look, you're comparing dog shit to dog throw up. I mean, they're both pretty stinky and bad.
RJ.
I'm sorry. I think the original Suicide Squad movie is just a dog shit movie. I'm sorry.
Well, I think the sequel was a lot better, but I still want to see. I still want to see what this one would have been. I think it would have been a far more interesting experience to see like what this one would have been, And I think if it's practically done, just fucking do it,
Oh yeah, of course. It's easy money. If it's already complete, just drop it on the service,
Yeah. Do I want to see the Schumacher cut of Batman Forever? Yes.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. I'm okay with watching alternate cuts of films. I like watching alternate cuts of films. Sometimes it works out well. Sometimes it doesn't. Like there was, like some things just get changed. Like there's a movie that came out in the late 90s with Mel Gibson called Payback. And it's a really good movie. I saw it a few times theatrically, and then I've watched it a bunch on home video. And it's like, then a couple of years later, they go, oh, hey, we're doing the Payback director's cut. And I'm like, director's cut? The fuck? And the director's cut almost completely changes the last act of the movie. Like completely changes like the last act of the movie. Totally different. And I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. So I checked it out. I liked it well enough. I still prefer the theatrical. I think the theatrical was just kind of more of like what I was into at the time. But I was like, all right, cool. At least we get this alternate version of it. And I think like they should do more things like that because it gives people an option, you know? But the thing is now with the dying of home video, and it is, and there's not as much money as there once was. Studios are just cautious. So they just don't want to put the money into the special features. I mean, if they were still doing special features, Robert Meyer Burnett would stop hanging out with fucking chuds.
Ouch.
He wouldn't have to rely on John Campia for a job.
They stopped using him for a while. Well, before that, they were still doing special. He only did a few things.
Well, I mean, he's not wrong though. They don't invest in physical media releases and special features as much as they used to. It's very generic. Thrown
a lot of those sets that have a lot of special features are going to be worth a lot of money in the future because they're not all on YouTube. Some stuff.
Yeah. Well, Matt, like, so you think that this didn't go like as successful as like well, what would have been the bar success? Do you think for this? Like,
I think the bar would have been if more people would have. Let me see here.
I think more people interested in Superman and James Gunn. There's a lot of stuff going on with the next Superman project. It's just they've moved on. Oh, Cavill's back.
I mean, look, you got 200,000 tweets today for the release of the Ayer cut, but the
final
clip,
total, by the way, the final total was 231,000.
Yeah, that's cool. But then you've also looking at the clip that got released, and that's only got 13,500 views out of 200,000 tweets. So there was clearly things happening with trying to manipulate Twitter. I feel like if there had been more, 3 people wrote about it, dude. 3 people, 3 outlets, Fandom Wire, fucking We Got This Covered, and The Direct. But no Collider, no Slash Film, no Coming Soon, no Cinema Blend, no Joe Blow, and they'll write about everything over at Joe Blow. Like they never covered it. So I think there's like a lack of interest from just the community. Like I was talking about it today with my dad, and I would tell him like I've been watching a lot more horror movies recently. And he's like, yeah, I've noticed that. Like, he's like, what got you on the horror kick? And I'm all like, honestly, even though these are like violent, bloody, disgusting movies, the community, far more fucking fun to be a part of. People just want to enjoy movies, good, bad, or the other. Superhero content's become gatekeepy. It's become like very tribal. And I'm not saying I don't engage with that a bit myself, but it's like, it just makes it like, I don't care. I'm loving Andor. I think it's probably one of the best goddamn shows I've ever seen. So fucking good. What they're building up to is going to be insane. I don't want it to end, when it finally comes out for the last season and like what?
Well, they're starting this film season 2 on the 21st, I heard.
Yeah. So they should be out probably by the end of next year, giving us like that ramping up. I mean, but like, they're giving us the Empire in the way that people have wanted to see the Empire as being true fascists, which is just crazy. Cause we never, the whole like interrogation scene, man, fuck. Great acting in that movie or in that show. So I'm just saying it's like, there's a lot of shit with this stuff. I just don't give a fuck as much anymore. Like I'm looking around like, well, all right, what to fucking talk about, stream wise. And again,
I understand. Like, I feel like that fever inside the online community isn't there anymore. Like it was like 2 years ago for the Snyder Cut, or like 3 years
Anthony,
ago.
best show I've seen this year.
It's fatigue. There's so many, there's so much hype.
But also the fandom, I think, is just kind of dead.
Things.
I think it's kind of dead in a lot of ways.
Well, there was even there was never going to be as much as the Snyder Cut because also the event with his daughter too, in the suicide prevention, that did have a big factor in it.
I'm gonna disagree, but it did factor, but I don't think it factored as much. Because like I just don't think it did. I'm sorry. Like people are gonna get mad at me for saying that, but it's like again, people have been hiding behind AFSP for a long time. There's a lot of people that like propped it up and then dropped it like it's hot. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the only people I still really see working for it is the Project Justice League guys. You know what? And like, good for them for that. Isn't there a new version of that, or like the ultimate version coming? Did they release part 2? Did they release part 2?
I think they're getting ready to.
Okay, because like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I haven't talked to Nicotina in a while, but I haven't seen. I saw something. Yeah. It's like the ultimate edition is coming.
Yeah, the ultimate edition was just gonna have like both parts. Like they're gonna release part 2 as part of that, so it's just one complete thing. So release them separately. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Jess here for 5. Thanks, buddy. Says the anime community is good. All the fights happen when discussing who is the best female character and who is trash. I think in that regard, a lot of it can also be boiled down to who is the best waifu pillow, and like that's really what it is. But no, I get you, man. I get you. There's a lot of, I think, again, like anime and fucking and horror movies are kind of where it's at right now, to be honest with you. Well, Anthony, it doesn't matter that the movie came out 6 years ago. I mean, by the time the Snyder Cut came out, it had been like 5 years.
Well, but I can to play devil's advocate though. I kind of get what he's saying
years.
though, to where I feel like a lot of people are also in the mode of we just want to move forward. We don't want to have to constantly keep looking back and fighting for things anymore. It's like,
yep, that's why
this new era DC brings us to this point,
and that's why Henry Cavill is a double-edged sword. Legitimately, I'm glad he's back. I want to see what happens, but it's a double-edged sword because there is so much baggage there that it's going to end up being like, you're never going to get rid of the conversation. And you know I'm right. No,
I think there's definitely baggage when you bring them back for sure. I mean, the goal has to be like, how do you navigate through the baggage, but create
there's baggage with Indiana Jones too.
No, dude.
Not the same level.
Not the same kind of baggage. All right. There's only been one Indiana Jones. There's been a litany of Superman. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
and let's be fair, like Cavill's era is like, kind of like it's not his fault per se, but like that he's associated with an era of DC that's very controversial and tumultuous. So
yeah, well, okay. John here says you're just unhappy that Cavill is old. He's younger than me. All right, this is not doing the sour grapes thing. This is this is legitimately an issue of having a problem with the fact that there's baggage associated with his casting. Zach came on in. Cast him, right? They did 3 movies together. Cool beans. We want more. But now that they brought him back and Zach isn't in the equation, and it appears that The Rock is getting sidelined. It does. It appears because look, The Rock still hasn't even
really tried hard.
He tried hard, and he tried hard. And as I said on your stream, it would have been better for Black Adam to drop in the summer and then have,
never should have delayed the movie.
But then again, if they would not have delayed that movie, Henry Cavill would not have been in it.
Well, so it's double sword.
Exactly. So the movie, but like I keep saying, Henry Cavill being back, cool, but that cameo did not move the needle.
Maybe it'll do good on VOD. I don't know. Some things do better on VOD in this age.
I think it'll like barely break even with VOD. I think VOD will probably do very well. But it's not going to be like a slam dunk hit like I think they were hoping for. So,
no, it really wasn't. And I'm hoping that whatever, when James Gunn and Peter Safran and Henry Cavill can sit down and have a conversation, they can figure it out. But at the same time, DeLuca, and this again is true, take for it what you will, but DeLuca saddled them with that deal before they took over. So now they've got this deal that they may not even want. Have you ever thought about that for a hot second? Maybe they don't want it. Maybe they wanted to do their own thing, but unfortunately this deal happened beyond their control.
Either way, they're going to do a baggage because like for their first year's tenure, they were going to have to like follow and release a bunch of movies they had nothing to do with.
Well, yeah.
That were setting up a bunch of stuff.
The same thing happened with Walter Hamada when he took over in 2018. There's still movies that he had to work on that he had nothing to do with. And had to get him out the door. That's where they're at with these things. So like Blue Beetle, The Flash, Aquaman, Shazam 2, there's really not much they're going to be able to do outside of trying to maybe oversee the edit and to make sure that the edit actually falls in line with what it is they're trying to build from. I do think that what they're going to do is they're going to look at where things currently are and do what they can to build off of that versus simply just going backwards. But at the same time, Cavill has got baggage and that won't be ignored. So if they go, we're doing Man of Tomorrow, or we're doing this or we're doing that or whatever you want to call it, that's meant to be a Man of Steel 2 without calling it Man of Steel 2, because I don't think we're going to get Man of Steel 2. You know, and they, you know, and Cavill's back, but there's no Zack. I mean, you know, Twitter is just going to be like, bring back Snyder, hashtag Ray Fisher Cyborg. You know, it's just going to be like all that shit over and over and over again. And they got to deal with that.
Unless they come out and say, look, here's what we're doing. So,
yeah. Hold on here. John, I don't think you ever actually listened to my argument about Cavill being old. It wasn't about his actual age. I think people out there never really got that understanding. It was never about his actual age. It was about whether or not they're going to use him at the age that he currently is. Because if they don't bring him back now, then he will get to that point where he does need to be recast with someone who's younger. And they apparently read the article on TMZ and chose to do it. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna take credit for that. Right? Jarbo's right.
It's a bit of extreme, but I mean, like, hey, listen, your headcanon's your headcanon.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen, TMZ wrote the article. It made its way around the internet. People were like, "Yeah, Cavill's not that old," and then magically Cavill comes back and they get a new deal.
At least he did some good in the world to get Donald Trump elected.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
He's coming back 2024.
Shut the fuck up, Max. But
he's coming
okay.
back.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed. He's coming back.
No, my argument was never about his actual age. I used his age as a springboard for my argument, and then explained that if they don't do something with him now, he'll get older than they want him to be. I think people need to realize that, like, the older you get, the harder it is to maintain muscle mass. Like, Hugh Jackman can't play Wolverine forever because he physically is going to be unable to get back to that shape. And when you see him without his shirt on doing all that stuff, he has to starve himself and dehydrate himself.
Those workouts, these kinds of movies are intense.
Like, they do that to look the best that they possibly can, at a physical detriment to themselves. And that's just where we are.
Let me ask you this, like, just totally side topic, but like,
what, Bell? What? He's 39. He looks good. All right. Like, he could get it from probably whoever he wants to get it from.
Oh yeah.
I'm just, like, again, the business side of it. I know you're messing with me.
No, I was gonna ask, like, in your opinion, of course, where do you think you're gonna see Henry next after Flash? Is it gonna be in Man of Steel 2, a Black Adam sequel, or Shazam 3?
Aquaman. They're going to put him in a cameo in Aquaman.
How the hell does he fit into Aquaman?
I don't know. Batman somehow needs to be an Aquaman, and it doesn't matter which Batman.
I was going to say what they should do is make Shazam 3 Shazam and Superman versus Black Adam. That's what they should do.
They shouldn't even let Superman meet Black Adam. It's completely pointless.
It's too late. They already did, though.
No, well, I mean, like, they shouldn't even have them fight each other. You know, just be like, no one on this planet can stop me. Bitch, I can just say the word Shazam and do it so fast that, like, the gods will think that you did it and whatever. And, like, you'll go back into your little fucking whatever and shit. Stupid.
It's too late. They already set it up, so they have to follow through with it.
So, well, they don't know. They don't have to follow through with anything. What are you talking about?
I mean,
they're not under any. He hasn't signed an agreement yet, right?
No,
like,
what I'm saying is, like, I'm just saying,
thing.
like, you don't lead the audience on thinking
I don't believe that.
and don't do it.
They would have already mentioned if he had done an agreement. They were going to.
Why would you give all the leverage to someone that you know wants?
Because they made the promise of an agreement, but they're not going to make an agreement without James Gunn and Peter Safran being involved. Sorry, that's not going to do it.
All I'm saying is
it's not horrible business. They're the ones running the studio.
We're gonna announce that Cavill's back and not have an agreement in place.
They haven't announced that Cavill is back, though.
Oh.
If you think about it, it's all they'll say it, but they haven't officially said it because they haven't confirmed that he's coming back for another movie.
I mean, it's possible WB's that stupid, but come on.
You got to love this though. They worked the deal to get him because if you think about it, they ended his last contract to do the Black Adam cameo and the rumored Flash cameo.
You don't why would Warner go out there like making it look like he's back without having a plan in place? Because
it was all designed to get butts in seat for Black Adam. and it didn't work.
Oh, let's negotiate now after the fact. That's stupid.
It was the negotiation was get him in, finish out that contract with the promise of coming back and doing more. They haven't said what the deal is yet. So by that, we don't know. Is it Man of Steel 2? Is it like, even when, let's say the whole Spider-Man thing with Marvel and Sony happened a couple of years ago, when they came back and they figured out what it was, we knew that it was going to be one more standalone movie.
And Cavill plays by the books. He released the video saying,
he says, I wanted to wait. And yeah, he's been talked about it quite a bit with interviews, and no one's stopping him, because at this, why would they come out at this point and say, no, we don't have a deal? They clearly want him back, but they still have to negotiate how to get there.
God.
Do you not? How? I'm not wrong. They negotiated for Black Adam.
I gotta say this though real quick. If that is the case, right? So let's say like all of this, right? Them, all the Warner Brothers accounts and websites putting up the Instagram posts and all this and that. If that's not like them officially saying he's back, and this is just the marketing play for Black Adam, that's gonna be the stupidest shit any studio's ever done ever, because you're just gonna piss off so many people.
They're broke.
Doesn't matter. You're at the risk of pissing off your consumers.
Do you think that after the Batgirl thing, they don't already need to have some good faith or some goodwill? I mean, absolutely. Like, Zaslav in his earnings call called Black Adam a success, not financially, but for driving brand awareness. And so brand awareness is high, but that doesn't translate into earnings. And that's what they need. So in order to bring back Henry Cavill, and Henry Cavill ditched Netflix to come back over to do this, and like I keep saying, and I stand by it, he needs better representation. Because if it took Danny Garcia and The Rock all these years, 4 years, to get him back into the suit, that's a fucking problem. And that's not to say Warner's has not wanted to have him around, but they had just everything's. I'm telling you.
Well, it doesn't help though when they tried putting him in movies like Black Adam, for example, way earlier. It's like, oh, well, Hamada says no.
No, okay. Hamada didn't say no way earlier. They wanted him. They wanted him at the end of this. It was a Comic-Con thing, because the Comic-Con thing isn't real. We now know the Comic-Con thing isn't real. He was never going to be at Comic-Con. So
no, he had COVID. Yeah, we knew that.
No, he was not going to be at Comic-Con.
Well, yeah, because he had COVID.
No, he was not going to be at Comic-Con for any reason.
Well, either way, I'm saying
no. He was not going to be at Comic-Con, not because he had COVID. That happened at the same time, but he was not going to be there at all, even without COVID. That whole deal didn't come through. They wanted to get him, probably The Rock getting slightly booed, not even really booed. It was a very moderate.
No. They planned that shit.
They absolutely planted that shit.
I guarantee you, it was Seven Buck Productions who leaked that to the press in order to foster these rumors as leverage to negotiate Cavill.
Yeah, they went to Hamada, and Hamada said no for whatever reason. And I think Hamada had his own good reason for it, but at the same time, it was maybe he's just like,
you were giving him credit for that before.
I was.
You did actually. Yeah.
I did, and I still think that we only got one part of the story. I think he still was involved in it, but hey, fuck it, whatever.
I trust Hollywood reported the most over that. They said he said no, and he was the biggest hurdle to that. Then yeah, he didn't do shit.
He probably did. Again, I don't know. That was his own. Eventually one day we'll find out. So he'll tell us. His memoirs will come out, and that would be a whole couple chapters on spilling the tea of what went down. But at the same time, look, they went to DeLuca. DeLuca okayed it. Probably because they went in there and they said, we have a contract and we're willing to negotiate these terms, and to end out that contract to then free Henry up for more negotiations. And they're like, all right, make it happen. Probably what it was. Very simple stuff, but they got Henry on board and they were able to make the deal work, but they had to get Henry to agree to the contract alteration, right? To renegotiations. And again, not long after that, he basically drops Netflix. So obviously, they have promised him to come back into the fold for Superman, which, and we don't even know yet if James Gunn and Peter Safran are wanting to fast track a Superman project. If Charles Roven is still out there trying to find writers and directors, when we know that McQuarrie has a script, You know, I mean, what's Matt Vaughn up to right now? The whole Argyle controversy is a whole weird fucking thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I want to do a deeper dive into that at one point in time, but it's just
hard
like,
to do a deep dive when none's like official yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, that movie's not going to be what people think it is at all. If
or it might
that
be.
rumor's true.
If the rumor is true, but again, like that particular person is not always accurate. And I heard something similar to what that person had posted that you showed me beforehand. So I'll have to wait and see.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of smoke around this though. So.
There's a lot of smoke, and there could be some fire, and there could also be some misdirection. Hollywood is weird like that, but it is also. But if it's building some kind of like underground like hype for it, I don't see it really.
Oh,
working.
it's meant to like. I think it's meant to be like kind of like a farce kind of thing, like an online farce. Like you build up like this marketing kind of thing, and like I don't know how to explain like this very meta world around it, sort of. I don't know how to describe
Yeah,
it. But...
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how that whole thing plays out. But okay, so it is midnight my time, and I do need to start trying to get to bed because I have had a very long day. Couple quick things to look at here. We got this one from Command Unit. It is a Space Marine ending, but Google translated. No, I don't know what the fuck this is.
Okay.
It happens. You know, our resident 40K guy. It's 4 minutes. Let's give this thing a go.
See, I protect the world with ultrasonic water projections.
I'm already so confused.
Yeah.
He has one arm.
Is he? No, he's holding
his stomach.
Oh.
I think there are
I
super
clearly need
mutants.
glasses.
Really?
No.
I guess this is like just doing it with Google Auto Translate, but from like I don't know the context.
The joke is that there is no context.
Did you see the video of Henry Cavill getting asked about Warhammer, and then he tried answering it very, very like, you know, directly, and the guy's like, "Oh, I have no idea." So that's from my coworker.
Eat the old cabbage on.
Oh wow.
I felt really bad. Like that's embarrassing. Like that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Corruption is a form of prostitution. What do you think of N?
These are Cabos, Chaos spy trucks.
I am a socialist!
Thank you! This will affect future generations of people with disabilities!
Timothy will never forget. Are you kidding?
Is this the game that's sort of like Gears of War, this game?
I think so, yeah.
The government as president.
I think I played some of this.
However,
I think I played the demo of this.
results show that you
PlayStation
drank
Plus and PS3.
high-calorie ultrasound during the procedure. I'm not talking about breeding animals anymore.
You know what's funny is I can actually get your individual audio track
right?
and then rip off you saying I'm a
I want to
socialist.
kiss you
Oh god.
before I die, Mom.
You won't. do
Obviously,
that.
my dog
Nah, I'm
is
too
at
lazy for that.
a high level.
I'm
She is
a
my
high-level
sister, and I am
socialist.
her child. We're
What?
joining the EU. Not because I used my Twitter post, but because I'm
What?
so tired and sweaty.
I don't know what's going
We
on.
will see about that.
I think they used the gameplay
Long, Mario.
in some fans
Wise
made their own fan
words,
fiction.
Of course.
I don't
it
think
is
this is actually
impossible
from the
to
game.
walk without touching and forgetting things.
The plan has been completed. You are about
Sort of like
to be
the Halo
destroyed
Red versus Blue.
because I am the
Just
best
making the game.
person. Do not be
Kinda,
humble.
yeah.
Do not respect the saints. These principles are a life of extreme hunger.
It's not matching the lips.
You
Well, that's the joke, Max.
are bad.
That's the joke.
That's
Just
the
random, just
joke.
random shit you're saying.
I know. This is
McCloud, I don't think it's about owning the limbs. God damn it.
All right. I don't even know. I think it's pretty much over.
Oh,
at that
let's
point.
finish. Let's finish it now. Might as well.
There's no more dialogue.
Oh.
It's just seafood in paradise.
Yeah.
There you go. There's no more dialogue.
Thank you, command unit.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for that. It was funny. I get it. And then also Rational had sent me this thing here. This is some video game thing.
Talking about it.
I don't know. I asked him what it is. He didn't say what it is. I kind of scrolled through it. We'll have to see here. I don't know. He sends me weird shit. I get a little bit concerned every once in a while. You know. I don't know. I please show my video. What the fuck is the video though? That's if I'm going to show. I know it's a gameplay thing. We'll have to wait and see. All right.
It's probably secretly porn.
You know what? This channel's lived a good life. If it's secretly porn, let's end it. Let's go it on a high note. I think it's like something with Grand Theft Auto, not actual gameplay footage. Oh God, no. What?
That's fake bullshit.
David Cage game.
Yeah.
Oh, is this Detroit Still Human?
No.
Happy birthday.
Or
Well, happy birthday.
Jesus Christ, Max.
You know what I wish for.
Ooh.
Oh, the baby's still asleep.
Let's go make another.
Whoa!
Do come true.
What is
God
this?
damn doorbells.
What is Undead Queen Danny saying?
I don't know. Who wears that around the house with the
Go
windows
answer
open like that?
Door.
Yeah, don't answer the fucking door.
No, so
Never
swaying-
answer the door.
swaying like-
Oh,
damn!
shit.
Get away from her!
Ow!
Lord.
This is violent.
What the fuck is this?
This is not how I
Rise
wanted the
and
night
shine.
to go.
Happy
Oh, the
birthday,
baby.
by the way. Very nice place you've got here. You really did cash in on everyone else getting foreclosed, didn't you? Today you're gonna make up for that.
Damn. Why is he having us watch this?
I don't know.
This is disturbing.
We'll do exactly what we say, or we will
This isn't
treat
fun.
her like
He says this is a trailer for an
your
Ubisoft
kid,
game.
too.
Is it released or unreleased?
You're coming with us. No matter what happens, you get yourself to Times Square. Tell Treadway
Is
subject
that
4's
Walter
active.
White?
I don't know. Treadway isn't. Oh no, I'm thinking Treadstone. That's the
Traffic's backed up on the
Bourne.
bridge. We're not gonna make it in time.
Stick to the playbook. Treadway's got this operation tuned like a Swiss watch. Listen, you hold this down until Times Square, or your family gets a one-way ticket to the hereafter.
We're taking fire. Engine's cooked.
Oh, you know what? This is a VR game.
Oh.
It looks like a VR game to me.
You better get yourself to Times
I was wondering
Square.
why it's in first person. Like, it has like this weird like hand animation. Like, this is a VR
Yeah, well,
game.
it feels like what's the word I want to use here?
The van is on fire. Take cover.
Damn.
Oh, is this a Rainbow Six game?
Maybe.
Looks like we got a suicide bomber.
Do you know? I just read a report the other day that said Rainbow Six has got 85 million players.
Which one? Siege?
Yeah,
Really? Wow.
it's still really popular.
Oh, Moment spoiled what it was. This is a trailer for the cancelled Rainbow Six game.
Coming out of black sedan. 12 meters down from sedan.
Oh, okay.
Behind that red SUV. Down.
I do miss the
Proxy bombers on the move. Echo, proceed to street
you know,
level.
How is it not actual gameplay footage of a trophy popped up?
Ropes are set. On your lead.
I don't know.
Hostiles ahead. Take them out. Engage.
Someone just simulate like what Ernie trophies looks like. Get it.
Game looks pretty well thought
This
out.
definitely looks like an old, like early PS4, Xbox One.
I was gonna say like late PS3, to be honest.
Well, if it's
Anthony's
alpha
this is
footage.
better than GTA 6.
They kill them. Everybody on this bridge is gonna be below sky high. Engage NYPD immediately. Are you ordering friendly fire? No time to radio now. Take the shot. Shoot your woman. They're down.
Was that a cop?
Bombers on the move.
think so, yeah.
More games need the ability to wound the enemy. You know what I mean? Like, more games need the ability to, like, you know, shoot someone in the leg.
It's got realistic cover and damage mechanics. Wow.
Shut up! More hostiles lurking behind that car.
Pretty good shit.
Oh, shit,
Jesus
dude. I saw that coming.
Take down those hostiles. Enemy neutralized. Rally on my position. Let's take him in. Nice and easy. Stop where you are.
Don't move. We're here to help.
No, they're gonna kill me.
It's gonna be all right. We need you to trust us.
I don't want to die.
Bomb squad is 3 minutes out.
But they told me I have to get to Times Square. Listen. They've got my wife. They've got my kids.
Secure. Just hang tight till the bomb squad arrives.
It's not gonna make it.
Remote detonator.
Oh no.
This is bad. There's more than 100 people still in the kill radius.
They're gonna kick him off the bridge.
Over here now.
No, don't do this.
They throw him off.
What did you do? I had
Holy shit.
Jesus. So much for that guy. His wife and
This is the
baby.
day
What's happened to
we've been
them?
waiting for. Years of training, years of sacrifice.
Jesus fucking Christ,
This
dude.
is for the jobs you streamlined, the debts you collected. This is for the homes you foreclosed on, the bailouts you took. We are the true patriots.
What the?
It's time for a new balance of power.
Americans rising
You
up.
may not answer to the governments, but you will answer to us.
Yeah,
Get
bitch.
him
Make America great. Trump 2024. Jesus Christ.
Okay, so that was 2011. That was right at the end of the Xbox 360 era.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Like, that's like a, I don't know, man. Like, that's some heavy shit.
That was
That's
pretty intense violence.
Like, basically, like, the whole thing being about, like, these people kidnapping, like, people and making them into suicide bombers and blowing shit up. Like, Jesus.
Is this like a Black Mirror episode or what?
I don't know. It's dark shit, though.
Either way, I kind of agree that they need to bring this game back.
No, they couldn't bring it back, though, man. Because if they brought it back today, it would be heavily censored. Not nearly be as dark as, like, that trailer was. 2011, they could get away with that shit. Not now.
Yeah, but at the same time, you know, it's like that was pretty cool. I feel like that was back in the time of like Homeland, that game Homeland and whatever. That was kind of more or less just
the game got canceled due to controversy. I wonder why.
Oh yeah, it got controversies.
Well, apparently
Jesus.
they canceled this game and made Rainbow Six Siege instead. So.
Well, good for them on that one, because I remember when Rainbow Six Siege had its very first trailer gameplay reveal at E3, and a lot of lefties on social media were just like going off on it again, like the good old days.
Before the dark times.
Before the dark times of shit. Oh my god, this is why I just want to like talk about fucking like older movies, man. Maybe you know what, like not just because like nostalgia and shit, but just like it seemed like a simpler fucking time. It just seemed like a simpler fucking time. I did see the comment there from Jess. Was it Jess talking about doing an anime stream? Yeah, we'll do an anime stream this week.
By the way, before we end the show, I want to mention today is officially Stranger Things Day. They're announcing something about the final season today. So
I know we already covered that. We already watched the teaser.
Oh, there was a teaser?
There was a teaser, yeah.
Oh, but they said like it officially starts today, though.
There's a teaser for what's coming tomorrow. They didn't say what's happening.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, they're putting Volume 4 or Volume 2 in theaters for a day.
Oh,
You can go watch all of Volume 2.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know if I would go see that though. I mean, like I really enjoyed Volume 2, but I'm like, that's like fucking 4.5 hours, man. That's a long time.
It's about as long as the Snyder Cut. A little longer, but
I said I was only going to be here for like 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah, I've been here for 2 hours and everything else.
Too late. Now,
so let's see. Again, Anthony here says, again, Stranger Things is irrelevant. Nobody cares about it. Bad
what are you
take.
talking about, Anthony?
It's a bad take. Queen Danny says I need to watch Cowboy Bebop. Yeah, at some point. You know, like, I mean, like, look, I've been going through my back catalog, you know, piece by piece and trying to talk about them over on Podio commentary and stuff and having fun doing that. I just think, I don't know, like, I just think that's more fun. I'm trying to figure out like ways to talk about movies over here that can be seen as more like educational or just commentary and, you know, go from there and everything. It's just finding the time. It's just today because I woke up at 3 a.m. and I was up until like noon. And then I slept for like an hour and a half, and then I felt like shit for the rest of the day. So my schedule was all off. So I got to try to get back on schedule, you know? So
it's actually like McLeod. If that's true, holy shit, it's kind of crazy.
So yeah, let's see here. All right. Did you hear about David Letterman scrambling to get Netflix to edit out one of his episodes of My Next Guest Needs No Introduction, where Kanye rants about Nazis and victim blaming Rihanna? I mean, that would have already been edited out, I believe. That would have already been, I think that already would have been edited out if that was the case, right? Let's see here. Letterman, Kanye, Nazis. Let's just Google that real quick. All right. David Letterman's Netflix show will cut out Kanye West's comments on Nazis. Oh, shit. Fuck that. They should just play it.
They should, but they're not going to.
They should play it. Not that I want to hear it. Not that I agree with him or nothing. I think he's stupid as shit. But again, it's like the showcase. He doesn't want them
to censor it. Right?
So
Kanye doesn't care.
Kanye doesn't care. Kanye's just all it does by censoring him is it does give him.
Do you think he's actually shocked? Like, wow, all my deals fell through now.
No, I don't think he's shocked. I think he's mentally unwell and needs a lot of help. You know, I do. I think that quite a bit. Kanye is going to be broke in a year. No, he'll be fine.
He'll be fine.
He'll be fine. Kanye will be whatever and stuff. It's just
he's got enough money to last him a lifetime. So
yeah, what really sucks about all that though is the fact that, like, again, it just goes to show you that there's a lot of mental illness in creation, content creation. You know what I mean? Like, it's like it's not just Kanye. It's like, you know, artists in general have a tendency of going insane, just being mentally unwell under whatever pressure they might find themselves under. And that's true. That's really, really, really true. And Kanye is just, again, I think, like, left undiagnosed for a long period of time. And it's just, and also, you know, it's not so much undiagnosed as it is there's been no one to hold him to account. Now people are holding him to account because he's come out and just said these abhorrent things. But if he would have said these things privately, like, no one would have cared. You know, if he would have been privately talking about this stuff and it would have come out, nobody would have cared. Remember when he talked about, like, slavery is a choice and everyone lost their fucking mind? He said that shit on TMZ and, like, no one cared at the end of that. He was still fine. But apparently, like, he had said other things about the Jews and Hitler, I guess, or yeah, I think it was Hitler. During that interview,
like a bunch of shit that's all been stacking up, and this is just the final.
Well, what I'm waiting for is TMZ to drop the rest of that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. I think TMZ is going to get.
We also had Kyrie Irving too recently as well, like back to back with this. So
I mean, didn't he say like Kanye was right or something, or about Kanye?
He posted like a what was considered to be an anti-Semitic YouTube video or like some kind of documentary. And he refused to apologize for it and, like, kind of stood by it or something and, like, refused to answer questions about it to the press. And then, like, his teammates are pressuring him. I don't remember what the fuck happened, but he got suspended. Now he said to apologize and all this shit and take it back and all that. So, yeah, there's just a lot of shit going on right now.
Yeah, it's crazy. But we'll have to wait and see what's going on with that. Yeah, people didn't cancel him when he was degrading black people. I mean, that's a whole other conversation that I'm not too sure I'm allowed to have, to be fair. I just don't know anymore. I don't know what to say, what not to say. Just don't denigrate other groups of people based upon their religion or their gender identity. And you know what? Realize that mental health is an issue and we need to get that worked on. So anyway, on that note, time to kind of call it a night, guys. Thank you very much. You guys be sure to like the stream if you haven't already. Check out Mad Max the Mandalorian. He's going to probably do a stream after this because it's only 3 a.m. his time, right? Only 3?
2
or 2. Max is the night owl. Go check it out. RJ, are you coming back? You have any streams planned this week? You doing anything?
Maybe tomorrow or something going on, I'm sure.
All right.
See.
Support the Ayer cut. Give us the movie Margot Robbie doesn't want you to see. All right, everybody. Have a good night.